And what was the relationship between Jeanne Kelly and Stanley Donen? Did you have any idea that it was going to go on?
Well, he was, I mean, he was only a kid then, no. But he took him, when Jeanne went to California, I think Stanley followed her. Because then, after when I got pregnant, Jeanne followed him.
Well, this whole relationship, to read about it, is so incestuous between Jeanne, Coyne,
yeah,
and Stanley Donen, and they got married, and then that ended, and then Jeanne Kelly married Betsy Blair, but then that ended, and he married...
Jeanne Kelly married Betsy Blair during Desperate Forward. We were on the road in Philadelphia because we sent them a bottle of champagne. And the story is funny, but you know, I was working with kids. They were very young. And everybody loved Jeanne. No, I wasn't that young. I looked young, but I wasn't that young. I was 21.
Oh!
In fact, does anybody know Jerry White? He was our stage manager. He called me the oldest.
Rodgers and Hammerstein organization?
I think so.
Yeah.
He said I was the oldest chorus girl in show business. Because the kids were 16 and 17. Anyway, he was nice as pie before that. The day after he got married, he was as mean as anything. And the kids, they got together and they wouldn't give him a wedding present.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, he was changed.
Well, I heard I mean, if you read about, especially in Arthur Lawrence's book, he was impossible to work with, and I liked him because he was sort of to the left with his politics and all that. But
I found him very pleasant. That's the only bad thing I ever was the kids and when we get together.
How are we doing on time? Because
he wasn't a slave driver. Mitch Fielding was a slave driver.
Yeah. And tell us a little more about Bob Alden, because we don't know anything about him. Because you came in.
He was the best looking man you ever saw in your life.
Yeah.
He was so good looking.
Nice.
Yeah, he was nice. He was nicer than his wife.
Okay, the slave driver.
Yeah.
I was very shy then, so they would point out to me and I would just admire.
Now, is there anything you want to wrap up with, since we should go to the men here, that you think is important to say? We're so thrilled that you're here. It's so amazing. The history.
There'll be Q&A too.
Oh, okay, Jack Popp. We got two Jack Popp here. So,
you work with Jack?
No, I almost worked with Jack. I was dying to work with Jack because I liked his work.
Yeah.
So when we came back from California, I tried out, I don't know what show it was.
Oh, you don't know.
And there was an article, whoever wrote the article about being the first to call, when they try you out and you learn to dance, they put you up front. Well, I was one of those.
you were a hot.
I used to pick up very fast. So anyway, Jack Cole, I went in almost as a specialty. But Al Bloomingdale didn't like me, so I didn't get the job. Al Bloomingdale was a producer.
What year was that?
A producer. Al Bloomingdale's.
Al Bloomingdale, yeah, he was a big
Boy, this is amazing.
So I didn't get the job.
Every name, every story.
It must have been 43, 44.
Anybody else wonderful you worked for that you'd like to talk about?
Zoya, didn't you all work? Someone would work with Zoya Laporska.
Oh yeah, we all work with Zoya. You work with Zoya?
No, I didn't.
I did.
I worked with Zoya. I think that was at Carnegie Hall, the operetta season. And Charles Whiteman did the choreography when we were at the New York City Center Theater. He did the choreography there.
She's a big part of Dancers Over 40. She, a founding member.
Zoya was a beautiful dancer.
Now, you've taught for 50 years, right? Oh, you carry
55.
Oh, God. And do you find the kids are good, or
Well, if they stay, they do. But we have the Connecticut Opera Ballet, and then some perform there. I formed that. So when I was young, I performed with them, being a ham, But then The only one that I have that's here in New York is for Betsy Johnson, the fashion designer.
Sure.
She was one of my stars. She was a great dancer.
She's the one that does a cartwheel
Yep.
after every
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
And she
thought that
she gives such
Yeah.
she gives such a terrible image, but she's the
Did
most
she?
wonderful
Oh, yeah,
gal.
we went nice to
And I still see her all the time.
Very successful.
Went to her wedding in Europe. She had me call me, would you like to
Did
go?
you have another student who became a movie star?
I'm trying to think. Well, some of my students, they're teaching, like some teaching at the Harvard Conservatory, all of it. They're married and children, but they still are doing some teaching. And then I have girls that are doing the choreography for the high school musicals, you know. They have
Now, here's
jobs,
another,
they still-
sorry, Ann. Here's another picture of Kaye when you look through this. So she was twice in Life magazine. Well,
Well,
I,
3 times, 25th anniversary. This is the letters to the editors, the fan mail, and one derogatory one.
No.
It was something about Lindy Hop, I don't remember what it was.
I'm good at it, derogatory. So these will be here for you to look at. Thank you, ladies, and we could go on 8 hours.